se va. Noi solo, noi solo, noi solo, noi solo, noi solo, noi, 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 noi.
What is up, my friends? So, I'm not gonna lie, guys. If you saw the video last night, I was like, I'm gonna stay up all night. It was like 4 a.m. Well, it's 12 hours later, and I messed up. I messed up real bad. It's the first time I've ever done this. I pulled the stupid move, you know? I drank a Red Bull at about 2 a.m. It was one of the big ones, too. Like the double Red Bull. Downtown Phoenix, hung out. Whatever. Anyways, came home, finished my alchemy notes on alchemical transformation through the Jungian perspective, and I was like, this is great. And then I was like, I feel like I just need to take some time, reflect, pray, right? Like, I don't know, I just feel my thoughts going. I don't know, I just felt myself being challenged. So anyways, I am like, okay. So I get in bed, and I fell asleep at like 5:40 a.m. I literally watched the sunrise and somehow fell asleep. Anyways, but all that being said, I mean, I got my notes done, so I'm happy about that. But like, I messed up the schedule, and then I woke up today at like 10, and I barely slept, and the sleep I did get was really bad because I drank caffeine right before. It's just a whole mess. Anyways. So, I want to talk about the Nigredo. I'm probably not saying that right. It's Latin. I don't speak Latin. Okay? So, Jung wrote about it in The Psychology of Transference. I'm not going to leak all my alchemy notes. I'm sorry. I have to keep a level of, like, what is it? Ethos? I don't know. Ethos, pathos, logos. Whichever one. I think it's logos, where you just trust the speaker. Anyways, I can't talk about the alchemical transformation because, A, I don't understand it well enough to be speaking on it. And B, I want to keep a level of logos or whatever the trust in the speaker is, because if I talk about kind of schizo topics like that, I feel like I'm going to lose following. So, let's get into it. What is the Nigredo? Well, in Latin, it means the blackening. So, pretty much, during the stages of alchemical transformation, well, what is transformation? What is this alchemy? Alchemy was a early AD practice, like 1st century it began, until it was like widely accepted until about the 18th century, 19th, and it became psychology, right? Because the study of the subconscious mind was somewhat magic prior to Descartes, and then once we started actually studying the unconscious in a scientific manner, then it was no longer magic. So, let's get into it. What is the Nigredo? What is the blackening? What does that mean? So, alchemy is the process of converting cheap metals, such as copper or lead, into gold or silver. Otherwise known as that's allegorical, right? I talked to my history teacher. She mentioned alchemy. I go, what do you think alchemy is? And she said, well, it's when they used to try and chemically change copper or lead to gold, but they never succeeded. And I go, oh, Miss Harper, I got a lot to talk about to you. And so anyways, this is allegorical. It's about transforming the mind, unlocking the magnum opus, which means the great work in Latin, right? So in the Jungian perspective, this is achieving individuation, or making the unconscious conscious, right? And this practice is supposed to let you understand your purpose of what am I spiritually built to do, right? What's going to fit me the best, in addition to minimizing suffering, minimizing useless parts of the mind, taking up your consciousness, in addition to, like I mentioned, integrating the unconscious to the conscious. So, let's get into it. I'm just going to be reading my notes here. I'm only talking about the Nigredo, right? And, I had a lot. Alright, so, I want to also start this with the idea, I don't know who said this. People love mental scarring. People love to see it. I don't know what it is, but when I say scarring, that means that the wounds have healed somewhat. Obviously, the scars are still there, but it's not like people don't love to see someone in a horrible, broken state, right? That's not very nice to be around. But when the guy recovers from the broken state, all the lessons are learned, wisdom is achieved. That's when people love to see it. I briefly spoke on this in my addictions video that I recorded yesterday, but I recorded on my phone, point A, point B. There's like cars driving past, and there's like a soccer game going on at the park, and like I was just walking around, and I think it was just windy. I haven't listened to it, so I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll post it, because I was kind of like in a weird headspace. I don't know. It wasn't the best. So we'll see. So, let's get into it. Nigredo. Latin for blackness, the alchemical process of decay of the psyche and spirit. It is the man in the broken, beaten down state, the beginning of the process of the creation of the alchemical process of the magnum opus, or turning lead to gold. And this was mentioned in The Psychology of Transference, when Jung wrote that despite the Nigredo being considered, I'm probably not saying it, I don't know why I say it with that accent too. Nigredo, I say like Nigredo, the Nigredo, I don't know why. Kind of is like a bit of a Spanish, Latin type accent. I don't know. Sorry guys, it's a little off topic. Jung wrote, this cannot be the first step because something must trigger it, right? So, and then I went off the book because it just mentioned it. It didn't really explain it, and pulled up a bunch of other Jungian sources about it. So, already said all that. Ancient teachers would use this process as a parable of achieving the alteration of lead, otherwise known as the normal mind, in its basic unconscious state, the gold, otherwise known as an individuated state of what one is truly meant to be. The magnum opus is the great work. It is the greatest achievement of an author or a writer, or just of creativity. And then I'm going to make the picture for this video, the picture that I'm showing you right now. But, oh, come on. So, look. As you can see, it's a little weird looking. So, on the top right is the lunar unconsciousness, and on the top left is solar and consciousness, and as you can see, it is a skeleton, right? The image contains the words putrefactio, meaning putrefaction. It is Latin for the process of a decaying body or organic material, right? So when organic material is decaying, it is in the state of putrefaction, right? That was kind of stupid. I don't know why I said that. So, during this stage, life is very unpleasant. It is full of confusion, bewilderment, sickness of spirit, and encounter with the shadow. The person is disintegrating. A male might experience depression, anxiety, and a feeling of being lost and disconnected with himself or others. One cannot enter this state without hitting rock bottom. He may feel as if he is losing control over everything, and everything is falling apart. To facilitate this stage, one can use dream analysis, active imagination, and other forms of creative expression to explore the unconscious, confront the shadow, and come to terms with repressed emotions and desire. There are many stages within this. So that part was from a therapist talking about how he initiates this in his patients. I don't know why that's specific to a male, but I surely believe I've experienced this. So, I'm just going to talk about some of the stages. Yeah, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, guys. I don't speak Latin, okay? So, like, chill the fuck out. I don't listen to lectures. I'm reading this, so, like, I just picture it in my head. Anyways. Putrefactio, as mentioned earlier, the recognition components of our existence, and are putrid or rotten, with little energy left to feed our life. You look at components of yourself. I am broken. I am in a broken state following the fall of man. And there are plenty of putrid, rotten, horrible parts of myself. Mortificatio, meaning death. The death of people, things, or parts of ourselves. The death of people in our lives is much more rare in this aspect. This occurs in a metaphysical or literal sense, leaving us with a sense of loss or grieving. So, like, when I was first a teenager, I had this, like, I don't know, when I was 13, 14, 15, I had this, like, really depressed overtone to myself, because I had a fixation on, like, the death of my inner child, you know? I just viewed it as such a negative thing, and I was grieving over it for years, you know? Calcinatio, meaning the burning or refiner's fire, the process in which we are frustrated in our desire nature with the purpose of purifying or refining our will. And then I use the Bible verse here, Malachi 3:2-3. But who can endure the day of his coming? And who can stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like a launderer's soap. He will sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver. He will purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, as they may offer to the Lord an offering in righteousness. Right? I was listening to Father Spyridon. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. He's an Orthodox Christian guy that I follow on YouTube. One of the only YouTubers I watch. And he was speaking about this earlier. He said, God gives us, bitter medicine, I would believe. Right? You must struggle in order to meet God. That's just the truth. You know, I mean, obviously, if you die before you're like 6 and you don't really have consciousness, it's different, right? You don't have as much of a struggle with sin. You haven't really achieved the light sense of gnosis, knowledge of good and evil, right? But like, when you're 12, 13, and on, you've achieved the knowledge of good and evil within the self, right? So God doesn't bring about knowledge of yourself and the evil and good within you without experience, right? And you have to go through it. It's just a huge part of life. And I wrote some stuff about it earlier on my private story. I wrote, and many saints have wrote that it requires bitter medicine for the truth of good and evil to be within us to be exposed. Only God knows the nature of these trials each of us would need to restore our hearts. He permits us to the battles in order that we may be crowned victors. So it's kind of like when God tests Job, everything in his life is good, and Satan says, well, why don't you let me go wreak havoc on his life? Which I've mentioned in plenty of other videos. I just think he's a great example. This could be seen as this process, refining his faith, his understanding of God, his belief. When we suffer, to turn to God and say, why would you do this? It's like God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. A. B. What faith is there in no struggle? I mean, like, you know, God allows demons into your life to test you. He can cut at any point, right? But he's not going to give you more than you can handle. I mean, okay, this kind of depends on if you believe in the doctrine of predestination or not. But like, you have to suffer. You have to refine your person, right? Through struggle, especially with desire. And then solutio, meaning disillusion. The disillusion of one or more elements that give our life structure, a process in which we are flooded with emotion, and I put in parentheses affect. So those are the ones that I'm covering. There's like a bunch of other things, but those are the main ones that Jung recognized. Because during this stage, man operates mostly from the unconscious, he suffers with great intensity. So, what am I getting at here? Confrontation with unconsciousness and the battling back and forth is what will allow you to grow, but it's a great struggle. It really is. I want this desire, but unconsciousness doesn't want you to work that hard, right? And the idea of this being the first step to lead you to the Philosopher's Stone or achieving the magnum opus is very interesting to me because it makes a lot of sense, to be honest. Like, all the guys that I meet, I've never worked. You can just tell that they've, like, never really struggled. And because of this, there's, a billion deficits. They don't have creativity. A, they don't have drive. B, they don't have an understanding of reality. C, they don't have an understanding of themselves. D, they don't have real morals existing outside of society. E, and quite often they don't really exist in their own personhood. It's all influenced by other people and stuff. F, right? If you never went through everything bad that happened to you, you'll never achieve a high level of things in a personal sense, right? If you're born into a family where you're inheriting daddy's company and you never struggle in your life, you never really have to challenge the things that you think and yourself, excluding like stupid extracurriculars like sports, you'll never be refined. You'll never be refined as a person, And I touched on this idea in my other video about addiction, which I was just mentioning that I recorded and I didn't post, blah, blah, blah. And I was talking about how people love bipolar people, right? I could think of a few examples of this phenomenon. Kanye West, Ernest Hemingway, Charlie Sheen. People idolize these people, and why is that? Well, when you hit the lows, right, and you're like, damn, everything sucks, a level of refining comes with that. There's a level of wisdom in depressed people. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that recover, if it's just constantly a downpour and you're just escaping all the time, you never really grow from it, then obviously this isn't going to be true for you. But like, me personally, I had to spend years hating my life in order to get to where I am today. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know, I think it's very, very significant for people's growth, right? If you're constantly in a fairly happy state and then something bad happens and you just run, you never really recover, there's no wisdom in that. There's no wisdom in escape, But it really is in the process of the recovery of these things rather than the process of the suffering. It's the process of thinking your way out of it, you know what I'm saying? Breaking through. That actually changes things. Because I know many people that are very depressed or they have a lot of problems in their life and they just run, whether it's through drugs, escapism, being social, just unconfrontation through. I notice this often too. I can't say that this is quite fair, but when you're in a state of disassociation with a lot of people with big traumas in their life, a lot of people with anxiety end up being in this, you don't learn. And I'm sorry, like, that's mean, but like, it's true. Like, when you're not tapped in, to be disassociating is to be in the lowest form of your consciousness, right? So therefore, how could you expect to integrate much of your subconscious? But yeah, to reflect on the repressed things in your life, to reflect on your unconscious is 100% gonna make you feel bad, right? These things are repressed for a reason. These things are unconscious for a reason. You push them away, But I think the other part of it too is that you can't look at these things with the resentment. You can't look at it and say, why would this happen to me? You have to look at it and say, and now fucking look at me, bro. Look at how hard I got up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all that really matters. 444. All the time people are like, how do you read your phone, bro? What's that time? Bro, what the fuck? You don't know what military time is? Anyway, sorry. Yeah, but I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying here. You know? Oh, back to the bipolar people. Because they hit the low lows and then they get the manic highs, it's like mental scarring, gone like that. You know, and I guess you could say a level of mania is escaping, yeah, but it depends on how well they manage the bipolar, right? Not all bipolar people are like this, but some of them, it's fucking nuts. You know? But I can say, quite honestly, I'm so glad I went through everything I did, especially at the age I did, because now it's only fucking up, bro. Imagine if I crashed and burned when I was 25. Like, I'm so glad, honestly, because I'm set apart in many ways, especially in my faith. I remember when I was young, I would think, well, I've never really been challenged, you know? I was very young. I would think, like, but I've grown up in a Christian household. I didn't really choose this. Like, yeah, I know God. I know He exists and stuff. And yeah, I've had some struggles, but, like, not true challenge. I had to lose my faith. I had to hate my life. I had to be suffering for years so I could come back and be like, damn, God is that good, huh? And guys, when I speak about Christianity, I said this in a billion other videos, just fucking convert it to whatever fucking religion, bro. Like, yeah, your religion's wrong, I'll say that. But, like, you're an atheist, you can convert all these concepts about God and all this stuff to whatever your worldview is. It's not that hard, okay? So, yeah, but, I hope this makes sense to you guys, you know? And, like, I think about this, too. A lot of YouTubers and people, because when you look at actors, bro, like, acting is not really talent-based. Like, yeah, it takes talent to be an actor, but, like, do you think that the people at the top of acting are the ones that worked the hardest? Do you think that they're the ones that are the most skilled, or are they just, like, kind of there because their looks and random factors, like the place that they were born, right? Like, you think that, bro, Tom Cruise is such an industry plant, bro. You really think that they found a guy that can fly jets and helicopters? Anyways, I want to keep researching alchemy. It's interesting because a lot of hermetics and alchemists in the early times were Christian. You know, but that being said, also early Christians practiced the Kabbalah, so who knows. But yeah. I don't know, guys. It's just important to learn, to actually face things. You know? That's the other thing, is like, I spoke about this in the addictions video as well. I've never really been able to outrun my thoughts. Just because I have ADHD, because I'll hold multiple lines of thought at once. You know? Like, if I take Adderall, they all merge to one. But, like, normally, I'm, like, thinking or speaking, and then there's also another line, and there's another line, and it's just like, whoa. You know? So I've never been able to be like, oh, I'm going to watch TV and not think about this. And so I feel like that's led me to a greater level of growth, because then I'm just constantly processing all the time. You know what I'm saying? But, you must suffer to get the righteousness. Think about the disciples. Were they, like, in the best place of their lives or something? No. All of them had great struggles. They're all at low points of society. A lot of them were at low points mentally, right? And they're the ones that received God's wisdom. You know? It kind of also touches on the idea that I talked about in the Name One Genius That Ain't Crazy video. Because, like, you need to be set aside. And what will set you aside greater than speeding up your learning of lessons through suffering, through knowledge of the unconscious? Right? Yeah. I don't know. I'm having a great day, bro. I woke up. It's my friend's birthday, and he always talks to me about grounding. So I woke up, took a shower, and I was like, oh, come on. My ex texted me. She's like, can we talk? I said, no. And then, like, I went outside, and I did grounding for 30 minutes, listened to a sermon, just relaxed. Got food, met a different guy who's also joining the Navy, talked to him, got his Instagram. Wrote an essay just now about John 8, which I will never post. Not to you guys. I sent it to my friends. Read Albert Pike's letter to that one guy, I don't know his name, about the 3 world wars, which I'm a little tripped up about, because Pike wrote that the Second World War will be between the Nazis and the rest of the world. And it's like, I've been searching, and there's very few references. Well, I actually can't find a single reference that mentions the word Nazi before 1920, and the letter was written in the 1870s. But also, it's like National Socialists were existent at that time in theory and stuff, like it was written about. But the term Nazi wasn't actually used, so I don't know. I'm a little tripped up about it. I want to make a video on as above, so below, or whatever. Is it so below as above? I'm not really sure. I want to talk about that, though. I like that principle a lot. I just think about this. Travis Bickle said, "You're only as good as you feel." He said, "You're only as healthy as you feel." Something like that. I agree. I really do agree. It's funny, like, when me and my girlfriend broke up, I got sick. And it's weird, too, because, like, the better I've been feeling about it, the less sick I've been. I don't know. I think that there's some psychic tie to your immune system and illness and stuff that exists, but I don't. It's like, that's so hard to prove and stuff. But yeah. All right. Well, sorry. This has been really off topic. You must suffer to grow. So take up the hardest path. Why wouldn't you? You know. It's also like on the. I think I talked about this. The principle that you have to reverse your nature in order to achieve success. So, like, I'm extroverted by nature. I've been spending time just alone all the time, and I've been so successful, bro. You're an introvert. You just want to sit inside all day. You have to meet people and share ideas and actually grow. You know? I have ADHD. I never want to read. I'm go all the time. I sit and force myself to read. Just fucking do it. You know? And what happens? I suffer. And what happens in the suffering? You grow every single time. You know? That's it, guys. That's it. You know, every time I suffer with my faith, every time I'm struggling with it, every single time I come out more faithful. I come out grown. And I understand now, okay, like, this problem is solved in my head, you know? Just confront things. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, this is why people who have dissociation and stuff, or ADD or whatever, this is why they're, like, always very... Okay, this is bad. But they're kind of childish. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like the lack of introspection and understanding of unconsciousness. Or just consciousness in general, you know? It's just the lack of thought, the state of acuity. We can all achieve this. It's just a matter of trying. It really is. Unconscious symbols and analysis definitely help a lot. Like, when I started analyzing my unconscious, I suffered. I really did. You know, it was when I was like 14 maybe. No, it was more like 15. Not like 14. I started like thinking about the memories and ideas I repressed and stuff. Really analyzing sensation. Why do I feel like this? Why do I like this? Why do I hate this so much? Really doing the metacognition. And the growth is insane. Absolutely insane. You know? Yeah, that sums it up though. Sorry, I kind of got off topic like 5 minutes ago. So that's my bad, guys. Like, I don't know. We've seen fucking amazing growth, bro. I hit like 20 subs in a day. Like, what the fuck? And I be getting comments and people are like, yo, you actually changed my perspective about this. I'm like, and that one dude wrote an entire essay on my Damon video. I was like, what the fuck? Which I still need to respond to. Sorry, bro. I actually appreciate the comments like a lot though. Like, that's the type of shit I like to see. I be getting hella hate comments on the shorts though. They kind of make me, some of them kind of make me look bad because you don't get the full context of the ideas, and so it's just like, especially the racism, bro. People hated that shit. The video on racism where I'm talking about like all this stupid shit. But bro, let me pull up my analytics really quick. I'm like unbelievably happy. And if I already have people commenting, oh, blah, 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 you changed this? Dude, like, fucking imagine what happens when I have 1K subs. Imagine what's going to happen when I hit 20K views on a video. Yo, let's fucking go. Yeah, 74 subs? Like, what the fuck? What is this shit? What is this? Yeah, bro, like, my views spiked insanely. My average, like, I'm hitting 18 views this day, 19, 6, 3, 10, 13. And then the 21st, 94. Okay, that's pretty fire. The 22nd, 1,200. The 23rd, 1,700. All this shit, and I'm still somehow down subscribers. Yeah, like, I got 7 subscribers yesterday, 4 the day before. We're fucking on the come up, bro. That's what my private story for this channel is called. I post on Snapchat where I'm like, hey guys, I made a video. But hella hate in the comments, bro. Hella hate. Like, hella random people saying, you think you know this? Some dude said I was racist because I said I didn't want to pay reparations. I was like, what the fuck? Are you stupid? Like, I always reply too. Like, I should just leave them, bro. Like, what am I doing? Hey guys, for 100 subs, if you really made it this far in the video, comment what you wanna see, what you want me to talk about. Also, I'm always saying this, bro. I kind of stopped in the past few videos though. Let me know anything I should change. Don't say like your camera. Like, yeah, I fucking know that this shit's ass, bro. It's a Chromebook. Like, this was like $300, you know. But yeah, just let me know anything that you're like, okay, well, you could, like, seriously, if I'm not concise enough, tell me, please. Or if you're like, hey, you really over elaborated on this, or you under elaborated on it, please explain, blah blah blah. Right? Let me know, bro, because I'm trying to make these like actually informational. That's the other thing too. I want to lean more away from the rant videos and more towards like information and stuff, science. Not science, because that's fucking stupid, but like more like I don't know, because sometimes in my rant videos I'm just going on, and it's like the whole reason I have this channel is to establish a sense of like trust with people, right? I know what I'm talking about. And I mean, that's not the whole reason I have it, right? That's the reason for me having it for you guys to watch, but part of it also is just to document myself, my thoughts, my growth, blah blah blah. I gave a psych lecture yesterday in my English class to 100 kids. I might upload the video, but you can't really hear it. Like, I'm gonna have to like boost the volume for 400%, and then like someone's gonna like make a noise next to the guy who's recording. It's gonna be like, you know. But it was good, actually. I'll talk about it on this channel. I was just talking about looking at psychology away from the biological psychiatric model, which is what everyone uses, right? Not like, oh, your depression is a result of genetics, but like, no, your depression is because you fucking sit inside all day. The fuck? You know? You're anxious because you don't speak to anyone. Is this hard to believe? You're anxious because you don't fulfill any purpose that your mind is telling you, go do this, go do this. No. I'm gonna skibbity toilet, you know. My friend told me, he's like, sorry, now I'm really getting off topic, fuck. My friend told me, he goes, you should like, or I go, should I put Sigma music behind my videos, like where the clips that I'm posting? And he's like, dude, you're honestly kind of already on that path. I'm like, fuck, I can't be one of those like Andrew Tate type guys. I fucking hate Andrew Tate. I've brought this up in so many videos, so many. But I'm gonna keep clipping shorts because it worked. I'm sorry if you like follow me for informational stuff and then you see just some dumbass shorts of me. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Please don't leave. But yeah. All right. God bless. I hope you guys have a day as good as mine. Keep at it, bro. We can change shit. This is probably the only alchemy video I'm gonna do for now, because I don't want to talk about any more of this magnum opus stuff. The research book, Never Stop Growing. My ex-girlfriend bought me this. The research stuff I will present in here is, I already did the psychology of terror. I took notes on Out of This World by Neville Goddard. It's about like manifestation stuff, but I don't know if I'm gonna talk about that. It's very hard to prove. And then I took notes on planets and their signs and stuff, because I always see like old art and it has like a planetary sign, which is like kind of like a sigil, but I never know which one's which, so I wrote all that down. And then I took notes on testosterone. I'll actually make a video about that, because I just wrote a lot, and like I might as well present it so you guys don't have to do that. Alright, sorry about all this off-topicness. Bless, have a good day, keep at it, boys. Always, whatever's working, just fucking do it again and again. Peace.